Heart attack signs. 12 early warning signs you should know. One of the biggest health worries many of us have is that one day we might have a heart attack. This is something especially common amongst slightly older men. There are some key signs that you need to look out for so that you can spot when you, or someone else near you, might be about to have a heart attack. It is such an important thing to be aware of, as catching it early can save someone's life. In today's video, we will show you 12 early warnings heart attack signs you should know. Please watch the video until the end and ring the notification bell so you don't miss any videos. Number 1. Chest pain. It's most likely very unsurprising to you to hear that chest pain is one of the major signs that you or someone else might be about to have a heart attack. It can feel like a burning sensation in the area of your heart, or it's like a sharp, stabbing pain. But you will understand the difference between this and just normal heartburn, as it will feel a lot deeper and it will impact your breathing more. One of the biggest telltale signs that someone near you might be about to have a heart attack is if they start clutching their chest. This is an indication that they are experiencing chest pain and that they might be about to go into cardiac arrest. Number 2. Pain in your arms. Another common rumor about the signs of a heart attack is that your left arm will go numb. This is true, but it goes further than this in that it can be either of your arms, and you might feel numbness, pain, or a pins and needles sensation. You will usually start off feeling chest pain, as mentioned above, and then it will spread across your chest and reach your arms too. Number 3. Shortness of breath. Another huge sign of an impending heart attack is feeling like you can't breathe properly and being incredibly short of breath. This usually comes at the same time as chest pain, but it can occur without it. So, if you start to feel like you can't get your breath out properly, or if you notice it in someone else, then try and contact an ambulance immediately. Even if it turned out not to be the onset of cardiac arrest, it is always best to be safe rather than sorry, especially when it comes to struggles in breathing. Number 4. Nausea. This is a sign of heart attacks that is not as widely known. It is very common for those who are about to go into cardiac arrest to feel very nauseous and sick before it. This can usually come to a little while before an actual heart attack occurs, and not directly before it, like with chest pain. Therefore, if you find yourself feeling nauseous throughout the day, or perhaps even over a couple of days, and you can't think of a reason why it could be, then you must tell someone. Yes, you might not immediately think of a heart attack, so you may not think to call an ambulance, but at least make sure you have someone with you who is aware that you are experiencing these symptoms, and who will be there in case of things worsen. Number 5. Fatigue. Fatigue is another sign and symptom of a heart attack, and is one that can last for a while. It can occur up to weeks before an actual heart attack occurs. The reason why fatigue often precedes a heart attack is that there is a lot of stress on your heart from trying to pump blood around your body, whilst a certain area of flow is blocked, which is what causes a heart attack. This stress causes you to feel extremely exhausted, and therefore you will find yourself feeling a lot more tired than normal. If you find yourself experiencing this, then you should consult a GP. Number 6. Cold sweat. If you notice yourself sweating more than normal, and it being more of a cold sweat, then this is a major sign that you might be about to go into cardiac arrest. It is one of the symptoms that comes very soon or immediately before a heart attack, and especially when coupled with any of the other symptoms, you should try and get help urgently. Number 7. Light-headedness. If you start to feel unusually lightheaded or dizzy, then this is another sign that you should be wary and contact someone to help you. It is another sign that almost immediately precedes a heart attack. It occurs due to the strained blood flow and sometimes lack of blood flow, which causes a heart attack. The poor blood circulation leads to your brain not getting enough blood or oxygen, and so you find yourself feeling extremely lightheaded. Number 8. Feeling of doom. This might sound like an old one, but it is an extremely common sign of a heart attack that a huge percentage of survivors have reported experiencing. Many have said that just before they went into cardiac arrest, they had this overwhelming sense that something bad was about to happen. They felt awful and couldn't shake this feeling of impending doom. It usually comes alongside chest pain, and although it might not seem like a sign of physical strain or injury, it is one of the biggest indicators that someone is about to have a heart attack. Number 9. Jaw pain. When you experience chest pain, it may not only spread to your arms, but can also spread up your neck and to your jaw. Therefore, if you find yourself experiencing jaw pain, then this can be another huge sign that you might be about to have a heart attack. This may seem strange, as you wouldn't normally think your jaw has anything to do with your heart. But when your heart has a problem or is under strain, it can trigger certain nerves, and so you can experience pain in completely different parts of your body. With a heart attack, the pain does, however, seem to be primarily in the upper body area. Number 10. Heart palpitations. Another very telling sign of a heart attack is that you might experience heart palpitations. This can feel like your heart is throbbing, beating extremely fast, or in a rhythm that is not normal for you, or it can feel like it is skipping a beat. Many have even described being able to feel the palpitations in other areas of their body like their neck. This is something that should not be ignored, and you must call a doctor as soon as you start to feel this as a symptom. Number 11. Indigestion. Gastrointestinal issues such as indigestion is another symptom that often precedes a heart attack. This is because heart attacks are most commonly caused by food issues and tend to occur in people who have more digestion problems. Heartburn is another similar sensation you might feel that could be a sign of a heart attack, and it is especially important to act on it if you don't usually experience these sorts of pains. Number 12. High blood pressure. Having high blood pressure is one of the biggest signs that you might be at risk of a heart attack. Whilst there is no major physical symptom to tell you that you have high blood pressure, it is important that if you know you suffer from a higher blood pressure, then you pay extra attention to the signs mentioned in this video. So, there you have some of the major signs of a heart attack. It is so important that if you start to feel any of these symptoms that you contact someone or call an ambulance immediately. Even if you are not completely sure, it is much better to be safe rather than sorry, and the medics can help you no matter what it is that's causing the symptoms. If you like my content, please let me know in the comments section below. Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on my future videos. Don't forget to like, comment, and share. But stay healthy.